Get your ex back. Tips to get back together with your ex quickly. By Betty Fragment. Narrated by Sarah Owens. Chapter 1. Ways to overcome a breakup. Going through a breakup is the best time to rebrand yourself. You can be whoever you want to be, do whatever you want to do, and try anything you want to try without needing to consider anyone but yourself. But considering that breakups are something that is defined as losing a person who was consistently in your life, and now it can be simple to dwell on the past instead of looking at what your future self can bring to the table. Completely reasonable. So, to help you manage all things breakup, since hi, your future best self is waiting, we have sourced a lot of concrete, useful ways you can actually get over somebody, according to specialists who want to help. Just because, yes, at times, buying yourself flowers at the grocery store is a little start. 1. Shower daily. I know this seems small, but trust it makes all the distinction. Prioritizing your health and taking pride in how you look can typically make you feel better inside, says licensed clinical psychologist Christy Norwood. So get yourself a morning and nighttime regimen that requires a rinse in the shower. After all, shower thoughts are the best kind of thoughts, and it might be extremely healing. Little wins are the best wins. 2. Create a vision board. Yep, it's time to paint a badass image of what your future is going to appear like. Time to get on the manifesting kick. After breakups, it is necessary to sort out what your life will look like without the relationship as it was, says Norwood. So pick up some magazines. Yes, full consent to grab some Cosmos, and cut out pictures that you take into art your life goals and desires. 3. Go to treatment. It's time to make an appointment for therapy, suggests certified scientific social worker Amala Miralio. Specifically, thinking about an objective perspective could offer you insight that you weren't able to process yourself. Start with some free choices here. 4. Buy yourself a big arrangement of pink roses. Put them in a vase, water them, and wait on them to wilt. When it's time to toss them out, check in with your feelings. Guess what? By the time those roses die, you will already feel better. After that, keep purchasing yourself roses, suggests Veronica Yip, a San Diego local who swears by this hack. 5. Check out a rage room. It is a legitimate thing. Get out all your anger and smash objects to your heart's content, advises Lauren Cook, who holds a master's in marital relationship and family treatment. 6. Go on that vacation you have been dying to, even if it's by yourself. Getting away to an exotic area or someplace peaceful is a potent source of interruption, says therapist Reverend Sherry Heller. What's better than lounging beachside with a good book, frozen drink, and the ocean waves? Discuss self-care. 7. Rearrange your home. Get rid of all those bad memories. A makeover develops space for new memories. Out with the old, welcoming the new, recommends Krista Monet, developer and founder of The Feminine Truth. 8. Purge your relationship junk drawer. Yes, this includes that ticket stub you have avoided your first date. You do not really need the reminders of a relationship that is no longer, says Robin Koenig, a dating coach. 9. Write hate mail to your ex, but don't actually send it. And tell your sister not to either, a la Laura Jean. The caveat isn't to mail the letter, but to do a ritualistic burning to get rid of the hazardous energy, suggests Samantha Coltonori, author of No More Crumbs, How to Stop Dating for Crumbs and Get the Cake You Finally Deserve. 10. Say yes to more things. This is specifically helpful if you've been in a long-lasting relationship where you've jeopardized and negotiated what you ate, where you went, what you watched, and who you fraternized, says Trish McDermott, CEO of Meetopolis Dating. Who are you, and what makes just you happy? Now is the time to find out. 11. Eat by yourself. Whether you take yourself out to your favorite Thai place or make a home-cooked supper, sit at the table and eat in silence. Being comfortable with newly found silence is part of the recovery process, says Jenny Johnson. 12. Register for a boxing class or any other type of fighting class. Sometimes you need to find an outlet to divert the negative energies you get after a breakup, says Celia Schweier, dating and relationship professional at Dating Scout. Trust, punching the F out of something will definitely assist with this added tension. 13. Block them from your Instagram and Snapchat. If the temptation to see if they have been taking notice of your stories is too much, just block them. That way, when you do begin to go out there and share your daily activities again, you'll know there's zero part of you that is performatively acting over it in the hopes your ex will see it. 14. Don't talk bad about your ex way too much. Okay, it feels good to trash talk your ex with your besties, and hearing that you were better than them from the start feels a lot like a drug, but don't depend on it. Hearing your friends lower a person who made you feel shitty feels like it ought to be validated in the kind of grand karmic plan of things, but your health and joy really need not be contingent on somebody else's pain and suffering. 15. Do not instantly suggest to stay good friends, and if they do, tell them that you really need to think of it. This is an impulse, because you don't want to appear like you care way too much about the breakup, due to the fact that you're so chill. You are so chill that your heart isn't beating, and you're dead. However, truthfully, during this stilted, uncomfortable breaking up period, it's hard to tell whether you will have the ability to become good friends. Generally, a single person wants to be friends, and the other wants more. Got to work that shit out before it can be a healthy relationship, if it ever can be. You're not admitting defeat by not staying good friends with them. 16. Spend a lot of time outside. It's a cliché, but fresh air actually does clear your head. So does, seeing the sun every once in a while. Take at least 2 hours from each day to just leave your cavern of forgotten dreams and connect with the outdoors. 17. Understand that it's all right to depend on your friends. Breakups can make the strongest people feel like they are useless or not good enough. Hang out with people who really appreciate you and remind you of what a good individual you are. This is when having a strong support network is essential, because friends can show you that you still matter and that you still belong, Burns says. When your self-esteem is at an all-time low, these are the people who can help empower you while you work on defining your own self-respect. 18. Eat your night cheese. Yes, you have full authorization to pull a Liz Lemon and work on your night cheese during a breakup. Fran Walfish, PYSD, a Beverly Hills-based psychotherapist and relationship expert, says that drinking milk or eating turkey, cheese, yogurt, or ice cream before bed can soothe you down as a result of the component tryptophan, a natural soothing agent that unwinds you without medication. 19. If you begin dating someone else, take it really slow. Man, you've just ended a relationship, and your heart flipped over and exploded like a tanker in a Jean-Claude Van Damme film. If you take it step by step and enjoy it as a casual thing for a while, that'll give you a bit of time to evaluate whether you're actually ready to be with somebody again. 20. Establish a bedtime regimen. When you're going through a breakup, learning to be happy with the little things can really keep you going. And truthfully, what screams, "I have my shit together," more than getting enough sleep each night? Walfish suggests going to bed at the exact same time and setting your alarm for the exact same time each day. Keep away from taking a look at screens, TVs, computer systems, and mobile phones for a half hour before bed. Not only does the light from screens keep you awake, but how many times has some unanticipated drama on the timeline or an innocent Instagram scroll unintentionally spiraled into a 2-hour deep dive of their life? 21. If you get a Facebook invite to their buddy's party, stay at home, put on a face mask, eat Chinese food, and watch Stranger Things. Going to that party still makes it all about your ex, not your emotional well-being. And seeing them will just open the scab. 22. Don't scheme to get them back. Plan to get yourself back. Get some sturdy book recommendations. Join a pickup sports game. Go on a journey someplace with a girlfriend. Paint your restroom. I don't care. Just do something that you like to do. 23. Avoid posting the specifics on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Tumblr. Live your life. Airing your grievances on social media is not good for anybody, and it'll be humiliating later. Who's going to read it anyway? Nobody. That's who. 24. Take some baths. Baths are half wallowing and half cleansing and pampering, and hence are flawless for separations. When's the last time you truly filled your tub? Clean it first, please, and had a pretty good soak with a glass or bottle of white wine. Showers aren't for the just recently discarded. 25. Stop blaming yourself, and don't think things like, if only I had watched more Bourne movies, had dyed my hair blonde, had given more rim jobs, or was cooler. It takes two to tango. Chapter 2. More tips on overcoming a breakup. Some separations are really fast and pain-free. Others gut-wrenching and destabilizing. However, what should you do after? When you can't stop thinking about the individual who broke your heart, how do you actually carry on? Beneath, confidential New Yorkers offer advice on how to get over a breakup and the strategies that worked for them. 1. Talk about it with people you trust, or complete strangers you'll never see again. My relationship of almost 4 years ended extremely just recently. What has helped me make it all the way through is speaking with everybody about it. My parents, good friends, colleagues, bartenders, anybody happy to listen, really. When the people who love you know you are hurting, they actually do rally around you. Connecting to people resulted in more frequent invites to yoga classes, home-cooked meals, motion picture nights, and day trips. Spending considerable time with more people who I disregarded throughout the years reminds me that I'm independent and I have everybody I really need. Now it's just a matter of finding out my new routine as a bachelor. 2. Make strategies. 2. Make strategies. I had a shitty 3.5-year relationship with an emotionally violent heroin addict. I was young and dumb. When it ended, I was devastated initially. Again, dumb. But after spending that summer focusing on me, taking a trip, spending tons of time with loved ones, I ended up being really thankful for the breakup. Everything is finding out experience, and you grow from everything. Hanging out, taking a trip, and surrounding myself with friends and family and exciting experiences helped. Keeping busy helps, and living your life entirely for you helps. 3. Get a hobby. My relationship ended as a result of it being long distance. Things that have helped me are getting a dog, heading out and attempting new things, a new dance class, meeting more people, and taking on new creative projects to throw my energy into. Of course, I did this after the sadness, crying stage ended, which took several months. 4. Make a breakup playlist. After 5 months of dating a person who appeared, truthfully, not that into me, he broke up with me over the phone. I was so angry. I solely listened to Demi Lovato's Sorry Not Sorry throughout the day, each day at work. I liked her lyrics about an ex one day seeing me glow up. It felt cathartic. I was going to glow up and get even more successful and lovely and famous, while he would just get a lot more old and wrinkly. The guy needed to discover sunscreen and skincare. 5. Sign up for some dating apps. Or try dating without them. I dated a person for a little over 4 years, on and off. I think what helped me get over him was the sense of relief that I had from not feeling controlled, and second, pushing myself to go on dates with numerous types of people. Eventually, what helped me carry on was seeing there are others in this city who are much more compatible for me, who offer many of the same positive traits the other had. 6. Overcome it with a therapist. I was married for 9 years. It ended in separation and finally divorce. Ultimately, I did 3 months of relationship treatment and found out more than I could imagine about myself and relationships. Today, I'm wed almost 10 years to a remarkable woman, and we have yet to ever raise our voices at each other. In my case, I took the mindset that I had a lot to learn from the experience to better myself. The reward is finding and being with a real soulmate. I see so many people who can't point a finger at themselves and work to improve, and I just shake my head. Find out more about how to find the right therapist. 7. Stop texting your ex. Texting should be texting, not exting. My ex knew he screwed up by not treating me as well as he should have. After the breakup, he texted me sporadically, in a friendly manner, and one day, some 6 months after we broke up, I told him he needed to stop texting me. I told him explicitly that he had hurt me, and his texts just reminded me of that pain and embarrassment and all of that. He excused every little thing and consented to stay out of my life. Just laying it all out there, actually, was the bottom line. I'm not typically one to be so direct, but I felt kind of like I could not carry on unless I did, specifically if he'd keep texting. And that was that. Find out more about why all of our exes live in texts till we make them disappear. 8. Know that it takes some time to carry on. My 1-year relationship ended after Valentine's Day, when I found him sending the same gifts to his ex-girlfriend. It took a long period of time to get over it, and we did the entire still talking, hooking up offer for another year. At this point, time is the main thing that helped me proceed. In time, you ignore the good memories that were keeping you connected to that individual. After a while, you just stop having feelings for them, simply because you are preoccupied with other things and meeting new people. That person is not active in your life anymore. Read more about how to let go of the self-inflicted mental pain. 9. Write something about it in a journal. I've always kept a journal. After breaking up with my first serious boyfriend of 1 year, I flipped back to an entry I wrote 3 months into the relationship and saw that I had written something like, "Am I even brought into him?" 3 months in. Such bad omens. Right then, I chose to reread my diary entries more often. Journaling continues to help when I date others now, and with a lot of other things in my life. I like to turn back to what I have written and try to notice patterns. For instance, with the person I am currently dating, one time I saw that I had written the same types of sentences I previously wrote something about my ex, grumbling about the way we were texting. It helps me understand that usually if I'm journaling about an issue, I'm normally not scared to communicate what I really need from someone. Journaling helps me know when to speak up. Chapter 3. Text your ex to get back together. You are wanting to know what to text your ex to get back. First, it depends on where every little thing is in regard to time and status. If you have just been broken up with in the last day or more, I'm going to address your circumstance initially, and it is essential for you to comprehend this even if you were disposed weeks or months ago, so don't skip ahead. Ideally, right after he or she broke up with you, you would have responded by saying something like, "Okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. I think we're great together. Take care of yourself." And that is all you should have said. I comprehend, though, that you are not a relationship coach like me, so you do not have the advantage of having almost 20 years in the relationship healing service like I do. You simply don't know what to say or text that responds learning that your partner or my girlfriend wanted to break up with you. Plus, as you were likely so hurt and traumatized by what is going on, you most likely weren't thinking plainly. So if you screwed up by reacting with asking, pleading, and other things like that, I'm not getting on you, and you do not really need to panic. It is definitely possible that your ex has haggled a bit ever since, or perhaps when they first sent you the breakup message, if that is how they ended it. If they asked the cliché question, "Can we still be good friends?" If that happens, you can say something like, "I'm sorry you feel that way. I wish you the best, but I'm not interested in being only your friend. Give me a call if you change your mind." The reason is simply because no one truly wants to stay friends after a separation. That's just what others say to try to reduce the pain, and simply because it sounds better than bye-bye forever. The rejection of friendship should not be a long message to get your ex back. In other words, don't secretly try to decline your ex and make a lot of remarkable, creative, or cold points with the intent of intending to get your ex back by that. Keep it basic, short, and keep from the temptation of using the friendship rejection message or the fresh start message to try to be tricky or plant seeds. Even if you do try to be friends instead of lovers, it makes it harder to get them to want to be back in a romantic, boyfriend-girlfriend unique relationship with you. The main reason, essentially, is because they do not have to experience the full consequences of the separation, so they do not get to feel what losing you as their lover really feels a little like. Instead, they get to have some of both. They get to have the fulfillment of feeling that they went through the separation that they wanted, which is hard, but because you are still in their life, they don't have to feel the negatives that a separation brings. And it triggers them to think of you as only a good friend going forward. They will probably even tell people that you two are just good friends, which is not what you want that person hearing from their own lips about you. It strengthens your place in the friend zone and makes it much easier for them to only think of you that way. You would much rather have them say to a person, "We separated." The most important reason is that it makes them face their choice. They hear the words. They publicly go back to being entirely single. You do not like it, and I get that. And oftentimes, they realize they do not like it either, if they get to experience it. If you're around them, attempting to be their friend, they don't actually get to experience the separation, so they don't know if they do not like it. That's a standard explanation that works for this article, but the link I provide at the end of this short article will explain the no contact rule and how effective it is in more detail. So the best method is to nicely decline the offer of friendship. It's an impression that will only hurt your chances of getting back together with this individual. After that, also like the first example, that's all you should say or should have said. I'll explain more about that beneath, but those are the texts that really get your ex back. Text back your ex. Can you text your ex something special that gets him or her to want to be together with you again? Is there a unique after-breakup text that will pull your ex back to you? Here's the thing. I'm very convinced that most of you said more than the things I discussed above. You probably begged. You probably used the word please and inquired why. You probably asked to meet personally if the breakup didn't happen personally so that you two could talk. There might have even been some upset texts between the two of you. Maybe you went to your ex's apartment, house, or where they worked, thinking that a face-to-face conversation would repair things. I don't blame you. You really love this person, and you feel like you're losing them. That's an immediate and dreadful thing to feel. You could just be wondering why what you texted or said didn't fix anything. First, the tidy up and repair, if that needs to happen. If your last message with your ex was in anger or pleading, you probably really need to send out a fresh start message to your ex. It could be something like the following. Hi, I've thought about what you said, and I was wrong to react the way I did. I'm sorry you feel the way you do, but I wish you the best. If you change your mind, give me a call. Then, do not text them again. With all of these texts, after you have sent the message, do not contact that individual again until they contact you. There is an excellent reason for that. What about when your ex texts you? Some people really believe that they're supposed to overlook their ex when they text. You should definitely open the link the sentence above in a new tab and read it after this one, but the short answer is no. Nobody wants to be ignored, and if your ex thinks or actually believes that you won't react, then he or she will stop texting you. Who wants to be turned down? Of course, it is paradoxical and maybe even a dose of their own medication. In case your goal is simply to get back at them or get revenge, then all right, ignore them when they text you or reach out in another way. You might get some of that vengeance. It may even feel good. If, on the other hand, your objective is to get your ex back, I do not suggest that you neglect them. Neither should you be cold, angry, or sarcastic. Asking if they're dating a person new already is also off the table. The main reason for that is that a clear message is sent when you ask that. Even if you try to act casual about it, your ex will see through that, trust me. That message is that you are still interested, jealous, and feeling that this other person could take them away from you forever. Part of being in no contact is that you become mysterious. So letting a text eliminate all doubt about your interest only hurts your efforts and chances of getting your ex back. So to evaluate, the way to text your ex to get him or her back is to accept the breakup, but reject just being friends, sending out a fresh start text if needed, using the no contact rule that you do not initiate contact, and being responsive if your ex connects. Chapter 4. What is your ex feeling at the time of no contact? Your loved one just broke up with you or did so recently. In some ways, it feels like the other day. In other ways, it feels like years ago. You remain feeling stunned, helpless, and unsure about your future, especially about whether or not there is even a future with you and your ex. This isn't how you were expecting things to enter the relationship, and although he or she broke up with you, you still have feelings for them and ultimately want them back in your life. You may be asking yourself how to even set about getting your ex back, and you might also be questioning what they're presently thinking and feeling in regards to you and how things ended. Colton, someone I know, is in a similar circumstance with his ex Jenny, who broke up with him several months ago. He came to me for coaching, and I advised him to immediately begin using the no contact rule. While there definitely was some resistance, Colton followed my advice and did cut off all means of communications with Jenny. That turned into no calling, no drive-bys, no texting, and absolutely no contact by means of social networks or through Jenny's good friends or family. This was an unpleasant moment for Colton because he frantically wished to know what Jenny was thinking about him and what she was feeling about the circumstance. As much as he wanted to contact her, I advised Colton to not beg or crawl back to Jenny, to take control back from Jenny, to withstand contacting her in any form, to withhold from publishing jealousy-inducing images on social networks in an effort to acquire a response, to keep a bit of wonder and mystery going on, to continue other healthy relationships and heal. First off, Jenny may be hurting and may be annoyed just like Colton, but more than that, likely she's feeling relief, in charge and in control of the circumstance, and potentially like the better one out of the two individuals. That's normally how the dumper initially feels. This is one primary reason why Colton should not go asking for Jenny to come back to him. Sure, Colton doesn't want to sit around for months and wait for something to happen, but he also doesn't want to do something that will jeopardize his chance at getting her back. Again, Jenny was feeling in control at the initial stage of the breakup. If you were the one who left your significant other, you'd also feel in control. It's natural. Staying in contact with your ex at the time of this process, continually bringing a suggestion of the breakup and triggering guilt, isn't a great method. This will probably only make matters worse. Your ex probably just wants to block you out of their head, and that's actually going to be much easier if you make them want that more by calling them. Colton made a pretty good decision with keeping away from Jenny and allowing her to think. He didn't push her away much more by being clingy or needy, and he created space for her to stop, think, and wonder, what's Colton up to? Why is he not begging for me back? I thought that's what he would do. Do not enable your ex to be a dictator of your life. They do not need to be exclusively in control of the breakup. They may think that they have control of the situation and can get you back anytime they want. At first, Jenny thinks she has won, but little does she know, Colton is strategically planning his next steps to attract her back, if that is what he still wants when the time comes. It sort of sounds like a game, right? It's not. What it is a strategic way to rationally resolve a scenario, rather than rashly reacting with emotion that will not help you get what you want. At this moment, Jenny is feeling all of the control, and Colton is feeling none of it. And if you are in a comparable circumstance, you most likely are feeling just like Colton. As humans, we are all inspired to some degree by control. You have lost control in this breakup circumstance and don't like that feeling, but you do not have to feel this way, or can at the very least feel a lot better. You want to ask for your ex back and get it over with, but don't try it. Do not give all of the power to your ex, who is just like a dictator in this scenario. A lot of people ask, but you shouldn't. It doesn't work. This is a natural response when you feel as though you do not have the power in the situation. You might feel as if this is the last straw, and your only choice is to beg and request for mercy. But it's not. There are ways to get the attention of your ex again and to get them back. The no contact rule is not the exact same as giving up. By giving your ex space and keeping away, you are causing wonder and secret. Your ex's phone vibrates, their heart jumps and they look, but it's not you. Oddly, they wished it were you. You may just be wondering how that's possible, since your ex is the one who broke up with you and does not appear to have any interest in getting back together. Whereas there is more than one reason that your ex could be disappointed when their phone vibrates, but it's not a text from you. One main reason that your ex can be dissatisfied that it is not you is because the human mind truly, actually likes to be right. When we are right in what we think will happen, it gives us a sense of safety. It's much safer to be right, and we're better off when we know what's coming. Because of that, there is an inherent desire inside each of us to be correct when examining matters, and to be frustrated and even worried when we aren't. Sounds basic enough, right? Well, it gets more complex. Your ex likes thinking they have you pegged. He or she likes to believe that they could always get you back if they wanted, and that you are always fascinated by getting back with them. So when you aren't going after and pursuing like they most likely expected, it triggers a huge resemble of doubt in their mind. Maybe they're wrong about you. And that's what helps them to truly and actually experience the breakup. It's not actually a separation if your ex knows that they could get you back at any time they wanted. However, if they realize that you could be lost and that they could actually want you back but not have the ability to get you back, then they have to actually see the separation for what it is. Your ex sees you on social networks post, and you are out with a lot of good friends for a birthday party, and perhaps they feel a twinge of jealousy and longing, though that is certainly not something you should try to make happen. Jenny was left wondering what Colton was doing with all of her time without her. Did he miss her? Was he dating others? He sure looked like he was having a great time and had moved on from her. The point is, defy your ex's expectations. Enable them to wonder, which is the power of mystery. Secret is more powerful than the answer. When you have the answer, you stop seeking it or being preoccupied with it. That's why it's actually better not to tell or to say, "I'm dating someone," in an effort to make your ex jealous. It generally just blows up in your face, and I certainly don't suggest that you date somebody just to try to evoke enviousness in your ex. That would be a dreadful thing to do to that individual, and could actually push your ex away. Again, secret is more effective. Let them really wonder if you're dating a new person. Don't give them the answer. Once they understand that you have moved right in addition to life and are living it the best way possible, you are giving your ex the opportunity to miss you, and that's what needs to happen. That is the purpose of the no contact rule. Your ex needs to feel reality. They really need to feel the breakup without you there. They need to miss you, and really wonder what you are thinking and feeling. In some cases, the most powerful thing to do is nothing. Enable your ex to feel the loss, which in turn will give you a greater value in their mind, which will boost their attraction to you. Sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? Eventually, like with Jenny and Colton, the chances are good that the no-contact rule will work out like it was designed to, and your ex will show openness to getting together to talk things out. It may take several weeks or perhaps several months. Patience is very crucial during this process. When your ex does speak with you again, do not rush back into things. Only show that you are considering it. Do not make it look like they've won you back too easily. Use caution. It should not be easy to get you back. Your ex needs to earn and work for it. Dangle the carrot, so they say. You should have some reservations about taking this person back, simply because they broke up with you. I'm not saying to postpone for a very long time, but your ex should know that what they did is not something that you take lightly because you are so into them. In the meantime, keep moving forward with your life and other crucial relationships. Continue with every little thing. Head out, be social, go to events, and so on. That will show your ex that they're missing out on a big part of your life. Gain some of that control back when you are in the middle of no contact with your ex. Heal from the separation and discover your worth while you review the relationship and the breakup. In Colton's circumstance, he followed the steps, my advice, and was dedicated to getting Jenny back in his life. Slowly but surely, Jenny happened and asked if Colt would meet her for a beverage. She asked if he would take her back. They have met a few times so far to talk about the relationship and are learning how to grow together as a couple once again. If you or someone you know is in a comparable situation, please comprehend that the no-contact rule really does work. The separation triggers the ex's mind to roam and emotions to stir, which typically triggers the ex to want to rekindle the relationship. Following the no-contact rule isn't magic. It takes consistent effort and devotion. It takes you out of your comfort zone and makes you vulnerable so as to get something you truly want, your ex back. Each situation and relationship is different, and there are certainly intricacies and nuances to your specific separation. This has been Get Your Ex Back. Tips to get back together with your ex quickly by Betty Fragment. Narrated by Sarah Owens. Copyright 2020 by Betty Fragment. Production copyright 2020 by Betty Fragment.